हम क्या चाहते हैं आज़ादी, सब मिल के बोलो आज़ादी, अब खोल के बोलो आज़ादी। सरज़मीने पाकिस्तान जुनून से और इश्क से मिलती है आज़ादी, की बाहों में मिलती है आज़ादी, जुनून से और इश्क से मिलती है आज़ादी. Disclaimer: fiction for self-protection. Had a dream last night in a submarine in which, Oz, Mummy, and I were in a submarine, and he was just talking endlessly about all the underwater life surrounding us and visible through the windows, and I was not aware of any of those things, and I just remarked something to the effect of it's like a whole other world out here, it's just it's almost down here, it's almost like another planet or something. And I was just and I'm really just scared, trepidatious that I'm going to be shot out a chute into the water and die. And that's basically what I'm actually concerned about, because I'm in survival instinct mode, and I've been in survival instinct mode for most of my life. I mean, I've really been at the base of Maslow's pyramid of needs, or hierarchy of needs. I've just been at the base of it, where it's my objective when I wake up in the morning is oh, I have to avoid starving, avoid getting killed, getting battered to death, avoid getting raped. That's basically, again, and that's basically it. It's oh, and somehow get to a hospital, because I really need to go to a hospital. Hospital sepsis is a bigger problem now than it ever was before, thanks to the pandemic, thanks to COVID, thanks to Omicron variants that are vaccine resistant. I mean, come on. This is just not fair. It's just not fair. It's how am I supposed to get this nipped in the bud? How do I get this scleroderma business nipped in the bud before I'm mutilated, physically mutilated by this disease, and then die of renal crisis or something? And I don't have a natural survival instinct either. It's the only reason I care about staying alive or surviving is because of my meeting with Bob on July 21st, 2012. And he just, he felt that I should live, I should try to live, and that, I should have children, that I would make a good mother and things like that. And it's just and that I have a future as a writer, as a creator, as a creative, and I should, expend on myself, I should invest in myself, and just have greater ambitions than simply surviving. He didn't just want me to simply survive. And yeah, maybe if I didn't meet him, I would be dead at 26. On July 21st, 2012, I would be dead soon after that, if not on that day specifically. And, yeah, and, it's I need to care about this stuff, because nobody else does. I think the skin destroying bullshit started with my father, because he was modeled with smallpox marks, and he resented everyone who wasn't. And yeah, so when my eldest sister was just a few months old, he just slathered her with tanning lotion, and yeah, put her in the sun. And I don't know, she's naturally the darkest person in this family, but I don't know if the tanning lotion on her when she was a baby has anything to do with that. He was a nipple milk thumber, a belly button lint fingerer. He was very abusive and very invasive and very violent from as long as I remember. But that's not all that he was. He would get excited about poetry. He would get excited about, literature. He was far more conducive to academia than my mother, because, he wasn't anti-rote learning. He actually promoted. I mean, the ability to memorize things is something very valuable, especially at the school level, when you literally have to memorize formulae, when you have to memorize lists, when memorizing things is very important. I mean, you're not coming up with anything when you're at the school level. You're actually just assimilating information and ideas, projected by other people. And if you don't have that, if you don't have the humility to actually memorize stuff and then understand it, but, conceptualize it, assimilate it, just like get it into your head, then there's something really wrong with you. You're just an arrogant fool. Anyway, so he used to prop me in front of my mother's dressing table mirror and just say that we have the same face, except that I'm white and he's modeled with smallpox scars. And it's a strange thing, like knowing that you are someone with the lightest skin in your family, and you're constantly being called white, not just at home but also at school, also everywhere else. I mean, I have been treated like a foreigner throughout my life in Pakistan, and then even when I go to the UK, I'm a foreigner. And most people just imagine, okay, East Coast, New Yorker, like American. And I don't know, I thought I deistified my voice a great deal for my mother, because I can't speak naturally with her. I have to change my voice just to talk to her. So I'm very confused. I did not enjoy Kenya. It was hectic. It was horrible. I wasn't getting any sleep. I wasn't getting any food. And it's like, and on top of that, there's the imposition, like, oh, we're doing so much for you. We're taking you around everywhere. And it's like, I don't want to go around anywhere. I just want to go to the hospital, because I am literally, I mean, I fell and my whole body is like, it's covered in bruises and scrapes. And it's just like, why the hell? I don't want to go look at animals while I'm in the state. And especially, and then on top of that, there's this incredibly abusive woman who's completely deluded. I mean, I just don't understand how someone could be that dumb. But anyway, yeah, dumb and at the same time conceited. God, I hate those kinds of people. Anyway, so she's just like, she wants me to wear blackface. She wants me to get skin cancer. So, I mean, I think that's the worst kind of racism, when black people want you to wear blackface because they're mad at you for not being black, phenotypically. Like, I had no choice in the matter, by the way, and I've spent a long time, it's like, even, okay, so when I was 9 and 10 in Marriott, yeah, the swimming pool, I would do 100 laps a day at the rooftop swimming pool, and, my hair was like, it was bleached from, like, a swimming pool chlorine. It was bleached, like, it was really light brown, and my face was completely charred. And I don't know why I afflicted myself with this. I mean, it was just like the boy on the burning deck, and just constantly like playing Casabianca for my father, because my father told me to do that, and I just, for some weird reason, had to follow orders. And then later in 8th grade, when on my 13th birthday, cousin Maria got me a cold cream, and I would put that on like all day long. And then my skin got charred again. And I would not be surprised if I don't have skin cancer. It's by the greatest miracle. It is the greatest miracle, because I have done so much, like, I have subjected my skin to such horrors. Yeah, and then before that, and then after that, at cousin Aisha's reception, my eldest sister, she's like, oh, she doused my whole face with bronzer and remarked, oh, this is how all my white friends do makeup, or something to that effect. And it's just like, and I just didn't know what to do. The only reason I wanted to wear makeup is because both my sisters were wearing, like, they were wearing pearly white foundation with pink and rosy and red lipstick, and yeah, they looked porcelain, okay? And neither of them are porcelain, so yeah. And then my cousins do the same thing, and it's just like, why? And I was 16, I just turned 16 on November 27th, around that time, and boy, and she literally made me wear blackface, and then I got into the habit of just like dousing myself in bronzer to avoid being sunburned, avoid having to be propped in the sun. And then when I was 19, the same eldest sister just left me, and she told me to sit at this horribly sunlit fountain area, which had no water, and in Ithaca Commons, and she just left me there, and she told me to sit there, and I sat there as my skin peeled. It burned and it peeled, and there were people just like sitting there for 2 minutes and looking at me and then leaving because they're like, what's wrong with her skin? Gave up my room for my other sister for 2 weeks, you know, for a total of 2 weeks, and she made that into 2 years, and she just literally annexed my room, annexed my cupboards. I didn't have access to my clothes, I didn't have access to my things, and I'm stuck, you know, literally marinating in my mother's fart and grumbles, and it wasn't a pleasant experience at all. And for her, I would take Mummy's bronzer and just douse myself with it, you know, just to make her feel like a goody lumpy person, and it's just like I would only wear flats and try to make her look taller than me, even though she's always been shorter. And I mean, ever since I was 11 years old, she's been shorter. But yeah. And I just did everything I could to get her married off because, you know, it's like she had an accident in DC or something, and then which led a bone to protrude from her nape. She was very conscious of that, and she really wanted to get married and become American. And I Kelly have finally won their battle. Yeah, I'm not like that at all. I just didn't want to get married ever, and I don't think I do.
What would you say to one another now?
I'm really proud of you. I was gonna say that. I was gonna say the same thing.
Some twins are psychically connected too. I mean, there have been studies to show that.